Commission Christian Radio presents I, Caiaphas, written for radio in 8 episodes by Colm Flanagan. Episode 2, High Priest.
During the next few years, a sort of peace seemed to come to my beloved Israel, or Judea, as the area around Jerusalem was known. The Romans stayed away largely, apart from routine meetings, thanks to the efforts of my father-in-law, Annas, who was the high priest in the temple. And I was very content in my work. Over the 9 years Annas was in charge, I moved steadily upwards in the hierarchy, and by now I was in charge of the guard, a responsible post, which gave me a great deal of power in organising affairs. Annas had once told me that he expected me to become high priest myself one day. I hadn't forgotten this, but I was very fond of my father-in-law and in no hurry. Then one day, news came that would cause a great deal of rapid change.
Judith, where are you? I need to speak with you.
Father, what is it? What's got you so excited?
Is Joseph about?
He went out a little while ago. I'm sure he won't be long. But what is it?
I've just received a letter from Rome. A new governor of Judea has been appointed at last, and he's on his way here. Indeed, he may even have arrived. I think Joseph ought to know.
Who is he?
All I know is he's called Valerius Gratus. I presume he's a friend of our Emperor Tiberius. Or perhaps not. Maybe... it's no use trying to guess. We'll just have to deal with the fellow when he arrives anyway.
Who will we have to deal with?
Joseph, I'm glad you're here. Have you heard the news? We have a new governor.
Well, I suppose it had to happen sooner or later. You want to have a discussion with the others in the council?
Yes, I think it might be a good idea.
Good. I'll arrange it at once. Judith, I'll see you later.
Thank you. I will come over directly.
Excuse me, I have a message for you, sir.
For me?
Yes, sir. It was delivered just now by a Roman soldier. He's waiting for a reply.
Are you going to open it?
Of course. It's as I thought. Valerius Gratus, governor of Judea under Tiberius Julius Caesar Augustus, to Annas, high priest of the temple in Jerusalem. Greetings. I would like to meet with you at your earliest convenience to discuss important matters of state. I will be arriving in Jerusalem tomorrow. Your servant, etc. My servant. I wish he was. Anyway, I must meet with him. Will you come also, Joseph?
Yes, of course. I'll deal with the soldier and tell him you're delighted to attend Gratus tomorrow. Look, it's going to take us a while to get the council organised, but we can still meet later this evening. Why not stay here and have something to eat with Judith? Will I make the arrangements? Judith, will that be all right?
Of course it would, Joseph. It's a good idea, Father. You'll be fresh for the meeting. Come on, sit down. I'm not taking no for an answer.
The meeting proved to be a turning point for Annas.
I don't believe it. Just like that. I have decided that a new high priest is necessary. Thank you for your service, Annas. I'm appointing Ishmael ben Fiabi with immediate effect. You may go. What kind of way is that to treat a man?
Yeah, he's an abrupt character, all right. He must have been planning on this on his way here. I wonder who he's been talking to.
But there's been nothing for him to learn. We've been running the temple in an open way, and there's been no loose talk of rebellion or the sort of things the Romans get worried about.
I wonder.
What?
Well, maybe it's not really to do with us at all.
Well, what do you mean?
Perhaps he has ideas of running our priesthood like they do in other parts of the empire. Many of these cults have high priests for just 1 year on a rotating basis.
You're well informed, Joseph. But it still sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Of course, those are just superstitious multi-god religions of those who are still without the light, not like our people. We have the one true God, Yahweh.
And it won't help us.
No, but we shall just have to wait and see. And it soon became clear that this Roman governor had his own ideas about the running of the temple priesthood, because in the space of just 4 years, he had appointed 4 high priests. I actually profited by all this. My position as chief of the temple guard meant that I was the common denominator in all the changes, bringing stability to a confused situation. So I was frequently asked by the new high priests to guide them and give them counsel, which I did, Helped by my father-in-law, of course, Annis's many years of experience came in useful also. And so one day, some 4 years later, I too received a summons to attend at Governor Cratus's pleasure.
And so I have decided to replace Simon as high priest. What do you think of that, Joseph Caiaphas?
He was asking my opinion? What sort of a trick question was it? Well, Your Excellency, it is not my place to comment on my superiors. Simon has been assiduous in his duties, and things are running smoothly in the temple.
I am told that this smooth running is in no small measure due to your skills.
I am gratified that you should think so, Your Excellency.
Oh, come off it, man. It is common knowledge anywhere in Jerusalem. I keep my ear to the ground, you know, and what do I hear? Whispers that Joseph Caiaphas, I believe they normally call you Caiaphas, don't they, is the coming man in the temple.
Idle gossip, Your Excellency.
But not without some truth.
I said nothing to this. I was still puzzled. Was I about to be dismissed by this arrogant Roman in the same way as Annas, Ishmael, Eleazar, and Simon?
And so I have come to a conclusion about you, Caiaphas.
Here it comes, I thought.
I have decided to appoint you as high priest.
I am speechless, Your Excellency.
Unusually for you, Caiaphas. You needn't thank me. I don't need your thanks, and I suspect you don't particularly like me anyway, am I right? I may be a Roman, but I'm not a fool, Caiaphas. I need a man who runs the temple in such a way that there are no difficulties with the people or the other Jewish leaders. I think you may be just that man. And I know you have been wondering why I change priests so often. Well, I'll confess there was some thought in my mind that I should bring your religious practices into line with those of similar deities in the empire. But I have been persuaded that that will not work in the long term. And so I have decided to appoint you. That is all. Congratulations on your position. I will expect you to earn it. You may go.
He really was an arrogant man, Cratus. But there I was, high priest of the temple of Israel, the highest honour a man could have. And one of my first actions was to find a good secretary, because such a person could make life much simpler for me in all kinds of ways. So, Malachi, you come well recommended.
Thank you, sir. I'm pleased that others have been happy with my work.
Well, this job is a bit different to those that you've been doing in the past. I am not a businessman. Well, not as such, though the running of the temple requires a cool head and the ability to calculate.
One of my previous employers left the business largely to me, sir. He had made his pile of money and simply wanted the income to continue while he enjoyed himself.
Yes. I think I understand what you mean. Malachi, answer this question. Why do you think I want a secretary?
I expect it is partly to relieve you of the daily business affairs of the temple while you consider the wider picture, so to speak.
Yes, that is true.
But I think it may be more than that.
Explain.
The position of the high priest sits between the Romans and our ruling priesthood, and between the priesthood and the ordinary people. He must be looked up to and respected by all sides.
Yes.
He needs, therefore, to be well informed, to have someone who can take soundings of opinion, who is discreet, able to keep his mouth shut, and to consider carefully what information might be useful.
You are absolutely right, Malachi. That is the kind of person I'm after. Thank you for coming. I will let you know my decision soon. There wasn't much difficulty in choosing Malachi. I soon came to rely on him and found that I could trust him totally. Judith liked him as well. If I had a particularly awkward situation which needed tact as well as a certain amount of persuasion, I could rely on Malachi to do some careful behind-the-scenes work in ensuring the best outcome. It was as a result of this quality that I first came to hear, a few years later, a name which now haunts my dreams. So, Malachi, you're back. Well, what did you find out?
Well, he's quite a man, this John they call the Baptist.
You saw him?
Oh yes, and I heard him too, at some length, I might add.
What sort of a man is he?
Well, he's a kind of wild man, I suppose. No polish about him, but a certain rough honesty. Plain-spoken, even outspoken.
Sedition?
Oh no, but they are calling him a prophet. While I was there, some Pharisees came to him and they were trying to get him to declare what his message really was. There were others there. I think they may have been from Herod. Herod is watching this John very closely, I understand.
Oh.
Herod's wife. John speaks out against her.
Not very wise. Herod dotes on the woman, even though she was his brother's wife. He disgusts me. But what can you expect from an Edomite? He's... well... never mind. Tell me more.
But that day something strange happened.
No? Strange? In what way strange?
Well, just then a man approached him. I heard him greet him as dear cousin Jesus, son of Joseph. Apparently this cousin comes from Nazareth and he'd come to the baptizer to be baptized. Oddly enough, John didn't seem keen, yet just earlier he'd been going on about how people needed to repent and be baptized. The kingdom of heaven was coming and all that kind of thing. Just like the prophets, really.
What happened?
Well, the two of them went down to the water and John placed Jesus in the water. They came out and then... well...
What?
I could have sworn I heard a voice, as if it came from heaven.
Voice? Was the sun hot, Malachi?
Sir, don't mock. Everyone looked upwards as though they'd heard it too.
This voice, what did it say?
It said, "This is my son, I love him very dearly."
What?
I know, sir, I know, but that's what I heard, and I checked with some others afterwards, discreetly, of course. Everyone heard the same thing.
An illusion.
Perhaps. If so, sir, a very strange one. Could it? Could it actually have been a message from God?
From God? Oh, I think not, Malachi. After all, there never was a prophet or anyone God could love who'd come from Nazareth. Everyone knows that. Look, thank you for your report. I think we should keep a discreet eye on the Baptist and maybe on his cousin too. Just in case. Just in case, I said. Looking back on it now, I was slow to guess what was going on. But how could I know that I'd meet this Jesus personally in a few years' time at the supreme crisis of my life and of that of our people? And I'd come to regret that I'd ever heard of him more than anything else in my life.
In episode 2 of I, Caiaphas by Colm Flanagan, Caiaphas was played by Peter Richardson, and other parts were played by members of the Commission radio drama team. The play was produced in Belfast at Commission Studio, and episode 3 is entitled The New Prefect.